Welcome to this week's Impact. I'm sorry I could not get my other Impact review done. I had problems, as if you heard my other reviews, I had some problems. But we got it here. And I'm going to say this early. I'm not going to wait till the end because I will talk about it at the end. I didn't like the ending of the show. I'm telling the truth right now. What happened to EC3, I didn't like. But I will explain why at the end. Let's get the beginning here. I was really happy to see that Dusty Rhodes was shown on TNA. He is an icon no matter what promotion. He made some impact on some promotion in the world by somebody. So I'm glad to see that he was shown. But to see that he had an influence in TNA, from what I saw, that made me very happy that he was there at one point. If I'm wrong, then you guys tell me below. But that looked like he was there. Dusty, I miss you. The wrestling community really misses you, and the WWE is going to suffer without you because they caused that on themselves. I'm saying it right now. Now, seeing the Pope is now commentating, it looks like for now, with Josh, and it looks like it might be permanent, I believe was the wisest thing to do on TNA's part. The Pope, D'Angelo Dinero, has always been a great charismatic character, and seeing him as a commentator, the yin to the yang, I'm alright with. And actually made the show a lot more enjoyable. Now, I'm not against Josh Matthews, but the people he's been teamed up with has not worked. And Josh really needs someone to play off of, because when he does it by himself, it's not bad, but it's not good either. He kind of sounds swillish at one point when he was by himself. Well, that's because he was trying too hard. Now it works. Now, the opening of this show, I'm going to say this, I don't like doing openings all the time, but I was glad to see this opening. TNA does something the WWE does not. They do a contract signing at the beginning of the show. It is very rare for WWE ever to do that. They always believe that it's more important to do it at the ending of the show because it's so relevant. But sometimes you need to shake it up sometimes. I sound like I just sound a little confused right there. Sometimes you need to shake up what you normally do. Go against the status quo. If the WWE did contract signing at the beginning of the show, like the IC Championship contract signings, if they ever did, I find it stupid they won't do that on the main show. Do a contract signing at the beginning of the show with the IC Championship, actually would give it relevance. Then with the World Heavyweight Championship, it would give it relevance. Or better yet, switch the two. I'm not trying to make things good for WWE, but I'm just saying, I enjoyed seeing this, and the reason I mentioned the WWE is because when EC3 spoke, he put over Angle very well. Because he spoke about the Edge, the Eddie Guerreros, the Big Show, basically, you could talk, he was kind of talking about Big Show. He was talking about The Rock, he was talking about John Cena, which I felt is pretty relevant. Because John has gone up against him and has lost more than a few times. And it felt good to hear that they showed that we have a better champion than the WWE has. And that's talking about John. I'm actually glad they did that. So this opening of the show I enjoyed very thoroughly. And knowing that EC3 was going to go up against somebody, I was very looking forward to it. Now I'm stopping there. I'm moving on to the next stuff. Match 4, the Wolves versus the Dirty Heels. And the Dirty Heels did what the Dirty Heels normally do. They try and con, chop, lie, and cheat their way to the top. But I felt they made a mistake in that respect. The promo segment for Eddie Edwards and Davey Rich was fine. Robert Roode always does a great promo. And I felt he set it up well. But I felt they made a mistake in not letting the Dirty Heels get the stipulation. I really felt they needed it. I felt the Dirty Heels should have won that match between Eddie Edwards and Robert Roode. Because Austin Aries comes in and they just blow it? Come on. You could say, hey, the faces got to win. Yeah, but the faces have been winning already. I felt Dirty Heels deserved that win. And they deserve to get the stipulation. And I'm going to move on to Magnus's I'm going to say this. I know like Fool Killer 99 was not fond of how the ending was between Mickie Jane and James Storm. He felt it was stupid for him to kind of well, he didn't say it directly stupid, but he didn't understand why they didn't call the police against James Storm. Something had to happen. Look, I'm not saying there was a perfect ending, but I do believe it was a nice change from what we've been getting from TNA and WWE. They're trying to make this as dark as possible. They're trying to get into Magnus's head through James Storm by doing what they did with Mickie Jane. I'm not saying it was a perfect ending, but it was a good ending, something different. Having Mickie Jane fall off that platform edge was beautiful. And I love me my Mickie Jane. I got scared thinking, oh, I hope my baby's alright. I know she was fine, but still. Seeing Magnus angry as fuck in the ring, ready to rip through somebody was the way it's supposed to be done. As I said, Magnus must be allowed to be who he really is. Let's be honest. He's going to be a husband. He has a son named Donovan. In real life, Nick is Nick. He's a father, and he's a very determined father that has some good upbringing. He just is. So seeing him in this respect is actually very good. And then seeing that they wheeled out a Donovan look-alike in the doll was actually very good. I didn't think it was Donovan, but it did make me think, ooh, they are going there. They're going to drag the little kid into this. Even if it is a fake little kid in a little doll, that doesn't mean they won't eventually go there by Slammiversary or Bell to Bell. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else liked it, but you guys tell me below if you did. Here's something I believe they kind of jumped the gun on. Jesse Goddard versus Zema Ion. Now, I loved how the Pope tried to give the new moniker of Mr. Spectacular the Adonis. I know people are going to say, dude, Jesse Goddard's a jobber. Yes, he is. But it doesn't mean you can't turn a jobber into a credible wrestler. You can do that if you package them properly. And what the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, who I'm very happy is there, saying that is the new Adonis. I would love that the Pope keep doing that. The new Adonis of TNA, Jesse Goddard. Jesse the Adonis. I know it may not have a great ring to it now, but it could be if he continues showing that type of attitude. He defeated Ion easily. I do believe it would have been better to bring back Robbie E 1 week after this. The live event would have been better than bringing him back on the taped event, because it would have been a better surprise. I would have felt that would have been a lot more better than what we got now. Because it would have been better that he had that little line he did with Zema Ion saying, I was the one who won the bromance. Check the tapes! Sorry for the yelling, but he's right. You do check the tape. Jesse's the reason why they won all the time. It was. I mean, Robbie E won as well. But the majority of the matches was over Jesse. Jesse did win that, so it made it perfect for what they did. It still has some flaws in it. But in the end, we're not asking for a perfect thing for Jesse Goddard. We're asking for a beginning for Jesse Goddard. He's not there yet. After what he did with Robbie E beating the shit out of him, what happened in Destination X, I didn't really get a chance to see much of it. And what happened after that, I truly felt that this is perfect for him to begin his going up. And if Robbie E loses and you give him the moniker of the Adonis, he could get somewhere, and that's what I'm hoping for. Bram! The Bram open invitation of a fight. And supposedly went up against Crimson last week. And this week, they drew out Joseph Park. Oh my goodness, guys, it's been a long time coming, seeing him. And saying, my practice went down. I was supposed to do the tout thing and it didn't work. I don't even have my teeth anymore. Oh my. That was stupid but epic at the same time, as long as he doesn't come back again. I want to see who they're going to bring next to face Bram. And it kind of makes me nervous. They could sacrifice Bram for somebody else, but who knows? Now, Chris Melendez versus Eli. Let's be honest here. Nobody wants to see Chris Melendez in the ring a lot. They feel uncomfortable somewhat because of how he works in the ring and how he looks. I'm not against him. A Zach Gowen type of guy, someone who lost or didn't have a leg from the very beginning, can still be a fan favorite. And the crowd was behind him when he was talking to Christy Hemme, who looks fabulous. Damn, that woman looks good. Even if she's not a redhead, I don't give a damn, she's still a good looking woman. But in the end, was this still a good segment? It actually was. Chris still doesn't know how to relay his feelings directly. I mean, he just doesn't have that kind of look. But it doesn't mean he can't gain it. And in this subject, he did a pretty good job. Eli did his best to try and put himself over and to make sure that what's going to happen next week is important because they will fight one another. Am I interested in seeing Chris Melendez go up against Eli? Actually, not that much. But you did give me a reason to want to see this because Chris was trying to stop Eli and the Beatdown Clan, whatever, during that match, Eli versus Angle. Fine. But the thing that made it interesting is taking his leg and using it to choke a Kurt Angle made me want to see how far they were going to go with this. Because taking the leg of a man like that, it's not going against America and all the vets completely. It is kind of an insult to vets. But it's saying we're going to treat this guy for the way he is. He's disabled, kind of like me. He just doesn't have a leg and I still have mine, which doesn't work either. But we're going to say, if he's going to be doing this, we're going to take that freaking leg and we're going to use it as a fucking prop. Now, does that fill a lot of people with comfort? No. But if we're going to go there and make this as reality-based as possible, who says you're not supposed to take the freaking leg? So seeing this, I may not be totally interested in it, but I want to see how far they're going to go with it. I'm hoping Eli is going to take his leg again, beat him with it, and walk away with it, and Chris is going to be in the ring mad beyond fuck and make the people hate Eli even more. That's the way it should end. And if you don't like it that way, explain to me why. Because if he doesn't get it like that, why are you going to care at all? Dollhouse versus Brooke and Awesome Kong. Now, I want to say, I don't know who this person that's coming back. It kind of makes me think of Gail Kim in a different persona. But I'm also thinking about Havoc and Tara. Now, you guys can tell me who you've been hearing the rumors of, but I'd rather not know. If I had to be guessing who it is, because of the little drop, doll time is over, it sounds like it's going to be Gail Kim coming back, maybe a little different. But I'm hoping it'll be Tara, or the person we've been wanting to know has been going on for months since her father died, Havoc. I want to see Havoc back so bad. I just hope she's okay. You can tell me if Havoc's alright, but don't tell me if it's her or not. But the match itself was okay. Now, Brooke got the pin, who I'm very happy to see is getting spotlighted here. Brooke doesn't always get a lot of spotlight. She doesn't. So she was the one that got the pin, and I gotta say this about Awesome Kong. She's still a good looking woman, and she wasn't wearing a very strong bra because those boobies of hers were bouncing everywhere. She was just wearing a corset and a basic push-up, well, maybe a sports bra, and those boobies were bouncing everywhere. And she looked like she was wearing, like, tight shorts. I mean, those stretchy ones. Pants, you know. She looked good, but still, that's a lot of booby bouncing. I kind of liked it when she wore the other clothing, but I'm glad she changed it up, and I'm glad they won. Now we're going to have We're going to have Terrence Terrell versus Brooke again, and Terrence Terrell eventually versus Awesome Kong. Let's see what we're going to get. Let's see here. Anything else I'm forgetting? I don't believe I am. If I am, I'm very sorry. I'm still a little sick from my allergies. This is the part that I'm angry about. EC3 versus Lashley. My problem is this. You have Tyrus at ringside. I can understand he had to be used at least once or twice. But constantly, particularly trying to put that chair in between the turnbuckles, was absolutely stupid. He could get involved once or twice. And to be honest, I really didn't want him to see... You see, I'm frustrated. I didn't want Tyrus involved in this at all. He could have just stayed at ringside and done nothing. EC3 really needed this win on his own. He really did. I mean, winning against Anderson is completely different against winning against Lashley. If Lashley had lost, it would have been better for EC3. And I know a lot of people are going to say, look, we don't need Lashley to get screwed over like this. We need him to get back in the title picture. Yes, I understand. But under this situation with EC3, we really needed him to at least win this one as clean as possible. And it was so dirty, it turned me off. Not that I want to see clean wins all the time. But when you look at EC3, what he did in the beginning of the show, saying how great Angle was very good. He spoke very eloquently. But when it came to this, it would have been better that Tyrus get thrown out after doing one or two heelish things to try and mess everything up, and Earl Hebner kicking him out. Not Earl Hebner getting knocked out by Lashley, then Tyrus knocking out his son, and then knocking out Stifler, and then finally knocking down Lashley numerous times before Earl finally does. That was a botched ending. And when you see him holding his finger up, he said, just one more match. I mean, this is one of the worst matches I've ever done. That's what I feel when he sticks his hand up like this in the thumbnail I'm doing. It was a mistake to do what they did. They should have done it differently. They should have sent Tyrus to the back after maybe half of the match. Messing around doing what they did. Doing that was going too far. It ruined it. So how do I feel? You see, I'm so frustrated about this. How did I feel about the show? The beginning was good. A lot of the in-between was good, even though there was a couple of things that could have been different. The ending was trash. But it doesn't mean the show wasn't good. It was a solid Impact. But does it mean we're going to get a solid Impact on the live show? I don't know. This is going to be a live show. They've been doing tapes a lot. And then they're going to be doing Slammiversary, which I'm very happy to see. But I'm going to try and leave my opinions for this coming show. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane View. Please give me a comment below. Tell me if you enjoyed my debate of the week on Dusty Rhodes. What you feel could have been more for Dusty? What could he have done more for the world? Or not done for the world? Tell me if you like the Nikki Bella one I did. I know you don't like me doing Nikki Bella. Who cares? Generally people don't care about the Bellas. But it had to be stated. They're still wrestlers. And they do care about Nikki and Brie. They do care about their respect. Who wouldn't if you're a wrestler? You can't just always care about money. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace out!